Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews, and this is going to be my review and recap of the Circle Atlanta Season 1, Episode 2453, because this show has been on for a year, and there's still more episodes to go before we get to the reunion and the end of this first season. So, housekeeping. There will be no hair in this video, so if you okay. I feel like I'm dressed appropriately for what's about to go down. So I'm in a sweatshirt and my hair is wrapped up in a hair scarf. Because I feel like that's the energy that I need, the type of energy I need to be on for this episode. Uh, Two, I will probably end up putting on a face of some sort because I got other shit that I got to do today. Three, I feel like shit. I can barely breathe because of my bronchitis. If I just have a coughing fit and I don't edit it out of this video, you just stretch your hands towards the screen and pray for my lungs. Okay? All right. So, with that being said, why the fuck is it so dark in the center of my face? With that being said, look like Batman. Like I have a mask. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I can't. Let's see what the fuck these people are talking about. This thing is 100 hours. It's an hour and 12 minutes long. I don't know what you gonna say. I know somebody gonna get on my nerves. Probably Eugene and or Jewel, or both Eugene and Jewel. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. Let's go. This I don't want. Let's go. Okay, so we back in at the ice skating rink, and I Tevin and Melly are still arguing, not with each other, two other people, but not directly at each other. Because at that point, I think Melly would have swung and probably bopped Tevin in the top of his head. Um. Meanwhile, Alyssa is distraught because she's like, I just wanted to get away because my friend just passed away, and I'm really going through, and I was trying to take my mind off of it, and then this popped off, and then to I guess she finally listened to whatever the voice note it was that Jules sent to her, saying her skin wasn't right, so she couldn't come to the event. And again, there's the question of, can black people be racist? Which the answer is no, but they can be prejudiced in a motherfucker. And if Jewel is nothing, she is that. She is prejudiced in a motherfucker. And Tevin is trying to cape for her and her bullshit. And everybody looking at him like, nigga, shut up. And then Dante, too, tried to cape for her. Talk about, well, why you ain't say this to Jewel? Dante, did you not just hear her say she just listened to the message all the way through because she's in the middle of a grieving process, and so it really didn't register to her till now? Boy, if you don't... Shut up, Dante. Just shut up. Eugene, I don't know what he talking about. But Alyssa is upset. And I don't think it probably, if she wasn't in the middle of her grieving process, this probably would have bounced right off her. Don't talk to me. Get yourself in the corner. Like I was saying, just because I don't know what I was saying at this point. Oh, at any other time, if on any given day, this probably would have this. You can't come to this because you're not a nigga. Would have bounced right off of her, but she's already a sensitive open wound, and this is just pouring salt into the already open wound. So it's getting probably more play than it normally would have, but still, her feelings were her feelings. And if I was Alyssa, I probably would have been offended as well. But it is what it is. I understand the need to protect some protect black spaces that are specifically for black people, but the way that what's baby's name, Jewel, comes across, it don't sizzle right in my spirit how she does says and does things. So no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But we 14 minutes in and still got a whole hour left to go. So here we go. Not Melly coming out and all of the shit going on with Alyssa being very upset and the shit that Jules said. Trump and the shit between him and Tevin, which really wasn't no shit at all, was just a misconstruedness and extraness that got taken over. So, they like, we gonna have to be good right now because this is too much. And they both agreeing, and then at the end, coming to some sort of consensus and meeting of the minds of they both good with each other now. So, come on, adults, adulting on this motherfucker. And everybody was all right till they actually heard that message from Jewel when she was like, well, my events are black events and you're not black, so I'm not inviting you. And then everybody was like, oh, oh, oh. Why everybody's like, oh, who was at the Harlem Renaissance? Because she stood in her good heart and said exactly the same thing. I don't, everybody's acting all shocked and brand new like that's not what she said when they were together at the party. I guess people be like, I guess they don't think people actually have the audacity to say, I'm not inviting you to. If she wasn't invited and she didn't know the event were happening, why did you have to call and say anything? Is my question. You wanted to do her to know you were having an event and she wasn't invited? Is that what that was? Because I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it not one tiny, not one minuscule bit. I don't get it at all. Oh, God. Well, we gonna see. Cause now Martell put her cake on to play save a hoe for this girl again. As much as I'm on Alyssa's side of this Jewel Alyssa situation, baby, because you didn't get invited to a party does not mean you have felt anything even remotely close to what has happened to black people in the last 400 years. Please don't ever say that to anyone else again as long as you are living. Baby, no. 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 No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, I honestly believe that Jewel was wrong. Like, she shouldn't have mentioned it to you at all if she was never going to invite you. That's how I feel about that situation. Why even mention it at all to you if she was never going to be on the invitation list? But in no way, shape, or form are you not getting invited to this party the same as anything that has happened to us and is continuing to happen to us over our tenure in this country. Baby, you can't do that. It's not equivalent. One is socially rude and awkward. The other is a systematic oppression, abuse, neglect, murder, all of those things. No, ma'am. It's not the same. Please don't equate the two. Thank you. this circle chat with Tevin and Jewel. First of all, it feels like it's a setup for Melly B. That's the first thing. That's the first feeling that jumps out at me, especially when she says that since B Hawk is the woman of the hour and Martell is not going to be there to be her glory hole backup. I don't even think that's the right statement. That's not what I meant to say. Glorified. Glory hole. Jesus Christ. Not glory hole, God. That is not what I meant. Woo! Since Martell's not gonna be there to be her glorified backup, she decided to invite B Hawk. So here's my first issue. One, why would the producers allow this to happen? They know these people do not get along in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Melly is unaware that this person is coming. Why would you allow this to happen? Just out of safety precautions and liability on y'all part, why would you allow this? Two, I like the fact that they allowed, what's the phrase name? Jewel to say what supposedly B Hawk's issue was and what B Hawk said the problem was, and then go to the videotape, and what was said was not what was, that's not what happened. Talking about, he said to, what's that baby's name? From Circle New York, Nichelle, talk about he can't even pass. He said he was an unattractive boy because he met him in boy presenting clothes. That's just an opinion. That has nothing to do with his transness. He just said he wasn't it as a boy. Okay. So he doesn't find him attractive as a boy. Big whoop. I don't understand. Okay. It's a lot. Now here come Tevin flip-flopping ass. Because just 30 seconds ago, you was fine and you were cordial. And now, all of a sudden, you have yet an issue with him. I don't know why. I don't know why. It don't make no damn sense. It's the flip-floppiest shit I've ever seen. So, I'm just ready for this retreat. Roll the tape. Tevin, nobody needs to explain anything to you. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? First of all, nothing. He needs to explain nothing to you about what happened on previous seasons of a different show. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing was said about you, toward you, anything of that nature. So what does he need to talk to you about it for? Secondly, y'all already had a conversation about what was said the same night that shit happened. So, and you were there for everything that he said. So what does he need to go back over and explain to you now? Child. If you a flip-flopper and you trying to figure out a way to make your flip-flop not look late and delayed and through like it is, just say that. Tevin, really? You had a conversation with this man and he was like, and y'all, he explained, he's like, I just be reading to be reading. He's like, my reads are don't even have to be accurate because I don't even know you. So they can't be accurate. So I just be reading to be reading. And now you talk about some of the things that he said to me, then they weren't even accurate. He literally said that. When y'all go to hell, I don't have time for this. Not Dante getting to the retreat house and then changing people's room assignments and roommates. Who gave you permission to do any of that? Who are you to do any of Chat. All right. Did Dante say that him and Eugene are the best looking people on the cast? Does he really think that? Huh. So we have this long drawn out situation with them switching rooms and switching back and switching around, and the beginning and the end of it is that what's that child name? Um he ain't want to be in the room with Tevin. What's his name? What his name is? Dante don't want to be in a room with Tevin. So he did all of this switching and continued to switch and switch and switch and switch to make sure that he and Tevin was not sharing a room. And so the episode ends with what her name is. What is that girl's name? Jewel. Lord Jesus. Jewel showing up with B-Hawk. And so some people get it immediately, and others is like, oh, hey, B-Hawk, and blah, blah, blah. And Eugene is like, wait a minute, B-Hawk, that name sounds familiar. Well, I guess we're going to get the fireworks from this in another 6.5 weeks. 6 weeks to 2 months. What is this, January? I see y'all in March for the next episode of The Circle Atlanta. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a kid, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.